to be in detention over there. He said because the process in Benin Republic do not give you the leverage to initiate the next sitting. He said it is even the judge that will determine when next there will be sitting. But another good side of it is that he said the man have been moved to a better facility where the authorities have been given directive that he should not be treated like a criminal, and he now have access to his medical doctor, and the wife is already having access to him and all that. I think that is a good omen.
Okay. Away from that, let's also look at the event in recent where Pastor Tunde Bakare said in a church, it was in a church program, that Nigeria for Nigeria movement, and there was another reaction from Prime Minister Yodele, which says that movement is not of God and it's going to be a disaster. So in just opposing that with the Save Nigeria movement, or Save Nigeria group, which some pundits have analyzed and say, what has it brought? This is also a product of the Save Nigeria. So now, I know God, I don't know, I personal relationship, know that God is not an author of confusion. So in just opposing what the Save Nigerian group has brought to the scene, and what we've also seen, and directly and indirectly, Pastor Tunde Bakare is part of the people who brought this government to power. We need to be very emphatic about that. It's a common knowledge. And the Nigeria for Nigeria movement and the counter reaction from another man of God, what are you thinking? Is all within the body of Christ, is God an author of confusion? Or some people really do not hear the voice of God?
God cannot be an author of confusion.
So which means some people do not hear the voice of God and they have their own voice.
I will look at it from different perspectives.
In all the perspective, I will ask questions.
Yes. The first one is, I'm looking at it from the perspective of Tunde Bakare as a Nigerian who have rights of freedom of expression, who have right to even form a pressure group,
Okay.
who have right to demand good governance.
Okay.
Irrespective of whether he had done similar thing in the past and he didn't see the light of the day, or the government that was ushered in have not been able to survey the situation.
Okay.
That does not take away that right from him.
Okay.
Having said that, I have a feeling that as a man of God, that somebody who have been honored by God to come and serve on the altar of God should stay in that job and stop prognosing or meddling into politics. Even as you have the right to join politics or play politics. Because for me, I feel that the business of serving God in the altar of God is so demanding that it will not even give you room to start looking for what is happening in the political terrain.
But he has been
because
serving God.
even the Bible made us understand that the labor is plentiful, the laborers are few. And Jesus Christ was praying to God to send more laborers into the field. So to that extent, you that have been given assignment in the field, you already have much in your hands. So I don't think the man who is having the meat of an elephant on his head should be bothering looking for cricket with his leg, because you already have enough meat. So for me, I think a Tunde Bakare who have been honored by God to serve on his altar should stay on that job and forget about whatever politics. I forget about politics. But if you look at it, look at the people that serve God in the time past. They can be at the comfort of their house, issue an injunction, and the injunction will compel the people of authority who are governing the country to do the will of God. So I think that is the role a Christian, a servant of God, a prophet, a pastor, name it, should be playing.
So you mean it should not be in active politics like the way some of
it is my personal opinion.
Okay.
That is why I'm taking time to give the reason I am advancing that opinion. Because if you ask Apostle Paul to come and take up the position of the king of Israel, I don't think he will accept it. He would have accepted it. Because he already have much in his hands. So for me, men of God should leave politics for politicians. That notwithstanding, if God say this is my will, they issue a decree, and the man in Asura will be compared to the will of God.
Have we ever had that kind of
thing? I'm coming. We saw it in the case of Elijah.
In the Bible?
Yes.
Okay, because I know it always happens in the Bible.
The Bible makes us understand that we are like mind, like Elijah and co. Now,
are you going to
king,
make a
I'm
decree
coming.
so that
The king in Israel sent people to go and inquire from God of Ekron, whether he will survive from an ailment.
In the biblical days?
Yes.
Okay.
And as they were going, Elijah confronted them by God's directive, asking them, is there no God in Israel that you are going to make inquiry from God of Ekron? For that reason, go back, tell the king that he will die. Okay. They went back, and the king was not comfortable. He asked them to go and bring Elijah. Before they came, Elijah already sat on a hill. They got there, and they told Elijah, come down, the king want to see you. And when they were going, it was 50 soldiers and 1 captain. Elijah did not come down. He said, if I'm a man of God, like you said, let fire come down from heaven and consume it on your feet.
Mr. Batu.
No, I'm stopping there. I'm stopping here.
Okay.
God honored that word. They were consumed. So what I'm trying to say in essence is, our men of God should toe that line. And if there are instances, there could be an instance where the people in authority are derailing from the will of God. You issue an injunction, issue a decree. When they start seeing the manifestation of the power of God, let me draw my home. Okay. When they start seeing the manifestation of the power of God by the word you speak, as God honor your word. Next time, if a man of God says this is what God wants, everybody will fall into line.
Let's not move into person. You can move into the spiritual realm, but the pundits I do more of a political analysis and evaluation. Has this scenario ever happened in this part of the world before?
In
Nigeria. But I mean, I love the analogy whereby sorry. I love the analogy whereby we all read about it in the Bible and we believe it happened then. So because according to Karl Marx, that religion is an opium of the masses, and the world makes it difficult, and some of the things that have transpired makes it a little bit difficult for some of us to probably see it the way it's being practiced in the days of old. If those things really can happen as a result of calling, why haven't men of God done that, go towards that line? Why can't...
I don't think it's better, but let me just say one or two.
Okay.
But they may not be popular to the point where the whole world know that
it's okay.
Those things happen.
It's okay.
Now, like, for instance, the president and founder of Mountain of Fire, where I worship, gave one testimony how they went to preach the gospel in a particular community, and the chief priest of the community, who incidentally is an idol worshipper, cautioned them that there are 2 juju houses that no one enters there and come out alive. That if they want him to listen to them, they should dare the gods of the land and enter into those 2 mud and thatched houses. He said before the man could finish his utterance, he said they dashed into the first one, came out, dashed into the second one, came out. He said the man was dumbfounded.
Okay. So now,
do I say more?
No, don't say more. It's okay. I don't want to go into religion argument. Now, the primate is also a pastor, a man of God. Pastor Tunde Bakare is also a man of God. Now, 2 contradictory. 2 different statements, one on the right, one on the left. I don't understand. No, that's number 1. Okay. Now, the prime minister really categorically said it is a disaster. So, in relation with the movement of Pastor Tunde Bakare and the Save Nigeria group, because people have started bringing out some loopholes.
Like what I did say.
Okay.
I acknowledge the right of Tunde Bakare of freedom of expression.
Okay, which is sorry. Wait, which is the first statement of the Save Nigeria group was the freedom of expression, not as a result of God's divination.
The other one I said when I advised that men of God should stay on the altar is an advice. I don't have what it takes to compare him.
We're not comparing. We are only sorry. We are only looking at a situation has played out. And people have argued from a man of God. And he said it in a live video that it was as a result of God's instruction. The Save Nigeria group. I watched it. Now, it metamorphosed directly and indirectly to what we have. And he played a critical role in this change mantra 2014 and prior 2014.
What I can tell you is this.
I'm driving at somewhere. Now, another Nigeria for Nigeria movement, which he said publicly, is out. And another man of God countered it. So the question is it that the men of God in Nigeria, one, some of them speak for God and some speak for themselves, or they've all turned to politicians using the altar as a means of probably getting fame or making more money?
What you understand is this. Primate Ayodele have rights under Nigerian constitution to say whatever he feel like he wants to say.
Okay.
But that does not extend to slander or libel. Then Tunde Bakare has his right of freedom of expression.
Okay.
But looking at an action that somebody took, the resultant effects, and the person looking at trying to come up with another action, for me, I think judgment belongs to God, and God did not empower any human being to assume the position of judgment.
Was he judging?
I will not. Pardon?
I don't think it was.
No,
judging.
What I'm trying to say is I cannot judge Tunde Bakare.
Oh, okay. And neither
based
will
on what he did
judge
in the past and what he intend doing.
Okay.
Because if you look at going by the tenor of Nigerian constitution, Tunde Bakare is eligible to contest as the president of this country. He has said it repeatedly that he wants to be the president.
Yes, God told him to.
I am not taking him on that. If God told him, I have not gotten the privilege to know whether God told him.
Okay, Mr. Matthew, let's move fast. Nigerians can't wait to have PDP back in power, says Atiku. Now, the point here is, where has the former vice president been in the last couple of years? So, who told him that Nigerians are waiting that PDP should?
Honestly, I don't know what they want to do differently from what APC is doing. Because if you look at
they also have their point, and they mash out some of their point, and you just accepted to the fact that under the administration of the then PDP, there's more probe of even PDP office or political office holder than even the opposition. You accepted to that fact.
Now let me ask you one thing. Or let me bring
you accepted that fact, right? And they have also said that they handle the economy better. I'm quoting their statement. I don't know. I'm not a defense person.
It's a function of what were the indices that determine what the state of an economy as at the time they were in the saddle.
They said they handle security better.
It's a function of what was the position of insecurity when they were in the saddle. But for me, I feel that both APC and PDP, they are birds of the same feather. Because look at politicians in PDP who recently or even before now left PDP for APC. What are they doing better in APC? So it is a Nigerian mentality. Nigerian politicians have that bad orientation. Okay. The orientation of the average Nigerian politician is to amass wealth, pecuniary interests. What propels them, their motivational factor is personal aggrandizement. Not necessarily what they want to do for the masses, how they want to better the economy and all that. I quite agree with him on the issue of insecurity, that Nigeria was better secured on passenger Yaradua during Jonathan. We have serious security challenges, and the thing now snowballed into APC government. So I don't think what we are seeing is a party issue. It's a Nigerian issue. But looking at PDP and APC as a party, I have a feeling that they are birds of the same feather. I quite agree that economy was somehow better.
What about security?
The reason the economy was better, the reason this economy crashed in the first place was as a result of the way and manner this government managed the economy when they came in. Don't forget that there was this issue of TSA, single treasury account. that was started by a Jonathan. And Jonathan, in the wisdom of the people who were managing the economy then, don't forget that Okonjo-Iweala, who is an expert in the economy, was the coordinating minister. So they didn't have timeline. They were tarrying, waiting for the appropriate time to kickstart the TSA. But Buhari government came in, gave a deadline, and the deadline was the TSA was implemented once we got to that deadline. And it was surprising that the government said they realized 3.1 trillion naira from commercial banks when they mop up federal government funds in commercial banks.
It's true.
So if you look at what crashed the economy in that 2016, it was a result of mopping up for government fund from commercial banks. Because hitherto they use those money.
You're not looking lending. At the slum in the oil prices?
That one is another factor. That one is not within the control of APC.
No. Let's be
factual. I'm coming. I'm looking at it based on its merits. The one that is their mistake is what I'm saying.
But the statistics.
If there is a global crisis in the oil sector.
Let me come in. The statistics were there even as when they were campaigning. As of 2012, 2013, 2014, the oil prices were sliding down gradually. And some pundits have argued as at that point in time and asked them, what will you do differently? In fact, I can remember categorically as at that point in time that the then coordinating minister, Okonjo-Iweala, wanted to pressurize the government to save. Part of the people in the current administration were APC members, the opposition, including Rotimi Amici, took the federal government to court that any money that comes in should be shared among the 3 tiers of government. So we cannot say they were not aware that the prices of oil will slump. And countries of the world were proactive enough.
What you are saying is a statement of fact.
Okay.
But however you look at it, it was PDP that was in power. So you will attribute the failure to PDP.
Okay.
Because if you
I'm coming.
Okay. If you give Buhari chance, even without giving him opportunity, he will give you the reason the economy is crashing or the reason is failing in insecurity. So I'm not taking.
No, because what the Nigerian government is only good at doing is giving excuses.
APC or PDP, I'm not taking excuse for failure.
Okay.
There was a failure on this area under your watch. There was a failure. You could have done it better. There's a failure in this area. There's a failure.
No, but
you had option of choices of what to do.
Yeah, but
you choose to do the one that will give.
No, do you think they have what it takes to even have an idea of understanding some of these macro?
No, they do.
You think so?
Yes, because in most cases, look at why I'm saying it. In most cases, they have option of what to do. I'll give you an instance. Look at this recent CBN policy. They have option of saying, since our economy is being dollarized, let us restrain and limit the activities of these bureau de change operators.
How long will that last?
They have option of saying, let us continue the way we are doing it.
So what makes you feel they won't continue?
And going by either plan A, option A or B, you get different results. You choose to do, and if you get positive result, you take the credit. If you get a negative result, you should accept the blame.
What makes you feel that this option is going to work? Because I asked you.
I'm not holding brief for
he's from. It was technical enough. I haven't seen what fight against Boko Haram. So he intentionally played along and used logic to handle the extremism movement from the Exazaki group. Even